Good morning, Encounter. Pastor Joel here. I'm actually really sad that I don't get to be with you this morning. Today is the 10th year anniversary of Centerpoint Church. Centerpoint was the first church that I came on staff. That's where Megan and I met, where we were married, and they invited us back for their big anniversary event today. So we're there this morning. However, we have a big announcement to make today. So I'm coming to you via video, and I'm right now with my friend Josh Haltom. Josh is the senior pastor of Fork Christian Church in Kingsville, Maryland. And I met Josh kind of like around the same time when we were starting the Encounter journey. We were talking with all different churches in the region about the vision that God had given us and asking them to come on board and, support us financially and just help us make this happen. And at that point, Josh, I think, was just transitioning into the lead role at Fork, right? Want to tell us something about that?
Yeah, so right when Encounter was just, I think, a couple months away, maybe 6 months or so from launching, I was transitioning from my student pastor role at Fork Christian Church into the senior pastor role. And so
And Fork is like a really old church, right?
Yeah, we've been around for 126 years.
Yeah.
And
your look right now is probably the look that people had back in the day when they were attending church.
You're probably right. Yeah. And so Fork has always been a church that I've loved. My wife grew up in the church, and so coming on board as a student pastor was great. But then transitioning into the senior pastor role was great. And so one of the first decisions that I had the chance to make was with the exiting senior pastor, and that was to begin partnering financially with your church. And so you and I met at some church planning gatherings, and once I had the opportunity to hear your vision and your passion, not just for Columbia Heights, but for Encounter and for all the neighborhoods here in DC, it was such an easy decision to say, no, we want to be invested in that passion. And so thank you, because as much as Fork has supported you, just being near your passion for your community and how to empower this community and make a difference has been something that's been contagious to me. So thank you for not just allowing me to be here with Encounter and you this morning via video, but just your friendship and the passion that you have for ministry.
Yeah, thank you, man. And yeah, thank you. I remember when we met, we were at a lunch, talking about the church. I had never met you before. I had never met the exiting senior pastor before. And I did like my whole spiel about what we thought God was calling us to do here. And they just said, we're in. Like, they didn't ask me any questions. They just said, we're in. And that was for me kind of like God saying, hey, keep going, guys. So to give you a little bit of background of why Josh is here, what the announcement is, today we're talking about this idea of renewal, right? We've been going through our core values, presence, encounter, and renewal. And I'm sure Amy has done just a tremendous job this morning talking about this idea. And one of the things in renewal is that we believe that when people encounter God, which is our mission is to create the environments where people can have transforming encounters with God. The result of an encounter with God is just lives made new. The Apostle Paul says that, anybody that's in Christ, it's a new creation, a new humanity, that God transforms us from the inside out. He just brings us alive in God in a new way. But that's not only in the spiritual sense. When you see the ministry of Jesus on earth, wherever Jesus met people, wherever Jesus went, it wasn't only that people were saved and forgiven of their sins and given a new life, but they were like physical, tangible effects of the presence of Jesus. Jesus would go to a town, and guess what? On the way out, there were less sick people in the town. And on the way out, there were less hungry people in the town. There was a physical effect and manifestation of the renewing work of God. So when we planned the Encounter, one of our desires or dreams was, can we be the type of church where we can see that, where we know that the work of God doesn't stop at just saving people from their sins and giving people new life in Christ, but that also goes on into their families and into their businesses and workplaces and into their neighborhoods and their blocks. And as we got to know this neighborhood, know this community, one of the things that we realized is that there were tangible, problems and issues. We live in incredible neighborhoods, beautiful, incredibly diverse, but there's also a lot of issues. You have $1 million row houses that are luxurious and very expensive condos next to, people are living in poverty and need that have been affected by the changing economic and demographic nature of this neighborhood in the city. One of the ways in which that is manifested is in our local public schools. My wife Megan, she's an elementary school teacher, and she teaches at Tubman Elementary, which is our local elementary school. If you're a first-time guest, you might have heard that whenever you fill out a connection card as a first-time guest, we make a donation to Tubman on your behalf because we want to be a partner of that school, because that school is really reaching out and serving the community all over the board. So it's not only the children of the well-to-do families, but also minorities, children in profound need. And one of those needs is food insecurity. So one of the things that we found out as we were talking with the PTO and the parents of the school was that there's a profound need for food, that there are children that the only meal that they eat on a day is the meal that the school provides. And we heard that there were teachers literally out of their pocket paying for food so that the kids could have something to take home at night, or something to take home over the weekend, or to have some sort of food during the summer breaks because they weren't at school. And the first time I heard that was about 3 years ago when we were launching the church. I just thought like there might be something that we can do. And I heard of a friend of mine that has this organization called Generosity Feeds. And what Generosity Feeds does is that they put together these events that the main goal is to pack meals to help alleviate food insecurity in a community. And basically the way they do that is that they give you the tools to partner with business in the community, to raise the funds to pay for the meals, and then bring the whole community together for a big meal packing event where you put the whole thing together and help, and it starts at 10,000 meals. So it's like 10,000, meals that go out that people can use in a number of different ways. But to put that event, you have to, secure the space and raise the funds within different businesses. And for 3 years, we've been trying to do this event. And for one reason or another, it has not been able to happen. We were having issues working with the city, trying to book a location to have the event because you need a space big enough for all these people and all this food. And that was a problem. Then as the church was launching, we were having some issues raising the money and reaching out to businesses. And to be honest, a part of me was a little sad, thinking that we might not ever be able to actually pull this off. And then a couple months ago, in 2018, I think around the month of November, I get a call from Josh. And Josh, why don't you take it from there and tell us what happened?
Yeah, so kind of what happened a couple weeks before the call is that I was trying to decide what our church would do with our Christmas Eve offering. And for a number of years, we've always sent all of our Christmas Eve money right back out the door to try to make a difference somewhere in the world. And so we've done a number of good things. We've helped families in Haiti find sustainable living. We've built community centers and churches in Romania. We've built wells in the middle of nowhere in Africa, so that way thousands and thousands of individuals can have access to clean water. And so much like you have a need to really make a difference in the community, I started doing some work to figure out, how can we make a big difference in our community? And so insert Generosity Feeds, which you already mentioned. And for us, we were going to try to raise $30,000 for us to feed 20,000 children in Baltimore County. And so that was our goal. That was kind of the bar we had set. And we wanted to take $10,000 and able to fund you to have an event right here, with Encounter Church. And so our church showed up in just an insane way. The goal was $30,000, and when we got done counting, we had $58,000
wow, that's incredible.
to help in hunger. And so one thing that we definitely wanted to do is not just to help in Baltimore County, but to partner with our church plants in order to help make a difference. And so we are excited as Fort Christian Church to let you guys know here at Encounter that because of the generosity from one of your sending churches, that we're going to be able to empower you guys to make a difference right here in your community to the tune of 10,000 meals that you guys will be able to pack for the community.
Yeah, so that's the big news today. The biggest challenge in this type of events is raising the money because you're literally going out to business and trying to get people to get on board with the vision, and sometimes that's hard. So what Josh just announced, it's huge. We don't have to worry about that. They wrote a check, generosity feeds already for the money. The funding is taken care of. So this is where we come in, guys. What we want to do now is try to bring as many people from our community together for this event. This is a great opportunity for people that might never step foot in a church to be able to connect with us in a positive way, to see followers of Jesus not just protesting and putting up signs, but actually followers of Jesus trying to love their neighborhood and trying to love their community. So our goal right now is to do this event in the month of April. We are right now negotiating to figure out the specific date. We're going to announce that in about a week once we have that set. And as soon as we have the date, we'll have all sorts of ways for you to get involved, for you to sign up for the event, for you to share it maybe with your neighbors, your friends, the place that you work at. I'm really, really, really excited about that because this is, for me, the ultimate reflection of the love of Christ for a place. That Christ doesn't care only about your soul and only about your morality, your personal behavior, but Christ cares about all of you. And Christ wants you to be whole. He wants you to be healed. And he wants people that are experiencing hunger and food insecurity to experience his love through provision. And that's what we have the opportunity to do with this event. So I just want to say thank you to you, and also thank you to all the people at Fork Christian Church for their great generosity. And you guys, where they are, he might not hear, but why don't we give a clap to the people of Fork and thank them for what they've done. So yeah, this is a big announcement. I'm going to just hand things over to Amy again, but I'm so excited for this, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. God bless.